All right, so we're going to look at the columns right now. When you enter a blank workspace, you'll notice that it's divided into 4 columns, and there's these titles at the top of each of the columns. So we have goals, resources, evidence, and rubrics. Within each column are cards, and we're going to talk more in depth about the cards in the next video. So the goal column here is where you would show students what completing this workspace will help them achieve. So this is where you might have your curricular connections, outcomes, um, exemplars, anything like that would fall into this column if you are using the heading of goals. Resources, this might be where you are going to put all of the documents, videos, links to websites, everything that you want your students to use in order to gain understanding. The evidence column is where you're going to put any of those formative or summative assessments that you want students to work through, any of their unit or project tasks. Those would go under this column here. And then the rubric column may be where you show exemplars and different things like that. You have your rubric built in. Now, all of that is if you're deciding to keep these column titles as they are. Thankfully, Hapara recognized that teacher flexibility is most important. And so there is that flexibility in here. As you may have noticed in the workspace you're working through right now, I changed the column titles to reflect how I wanted to use that workspace. So I have them as step 1 and step 2. And then here I have check-ins and here I have additional resources. So I really changed the purpose of my columns by doing that. And that's a great thing for you to be able to think about and to say, looking at the purpose of your workspace, what would best fit your needs with the columns? Maybe the purpose of your workspace is for a substitute teacher. So maybe you have them doing the column titles as intro lesson or intro and activity, resources, whatever you may need. So it's just really what fits you best. One of the things to note is that you do not need to use all 4 columns. So if you're thinking, I really don't think I'm going to use these 2 columns, I just need 2 to make my workspace work, you can just do 2 of the columns, and those are the only 2 that actually show up to the learner. So it is, again, really nice and flexible that way. So why don't you go ahead and take some time and just think about what you want your columns to reflect.